Yo, hey guys, Beast, back with some more basically content, and today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I did a previous video that basically was like the current version of the game compared to Pre-Renewal, which was, once again, if you don't know what Renewal was, basically they redid the entire game about a year ago on the invoke side of things, and it instantly was on Rebirth. They didn't even have the old version on Rebirth. Anyway, so, I found the changelog for Renewal, when Renewal happened, and all the stuff that was mentioned that was changed. So, I guess we'll just be going over all the stuff that was removed, as well as all the stuff they mentioned that may actually make a comeback, and what was changed in and everything else. And I'm doing this because I don't want to give up complete hope in this game. This game needs more stuff to do, but with this changelog, we can see, one, what used to be here, two, some of the stuff they said eventually would be coming back. So, first of all, let's go ahead and read this changelog. So, first of all, the element system was redid. They redid it and gave us the current element system, which is 100% fine. Our current element system is fine. They added raid characters, which if you don't know what raid characters are, they're characters that are in Tokyo Ghoul Ray, as well as they have raid actions, so it's pretty cool. That I don't have any issue with. For beautiful animation expression of characters was the name of one of the changed things. And basically it's where they changed the graphics from a 3D style to more of like a 2.5D style. I personally like the art style of characters and everything when it comes to character art, skills and everything. I like it a bit more, even though if you do remember, I did mention, I guess I'll let some gameplay there play. Old skills were like fully animated, where you get a full cutscene for the skill and then they do damage, which did make the battles like more sluggish. So I do understand the skill change that we currently have. The character icons displayed on the screen of the character list, organization, edit are changed to the 2D illustration. So once again, that's just how it goes. The voice settings and everything stayed the same, but they changed the art style. Once again, don't need to mention that again. Occupation War was added, and if you don't know what that is, basically, it divides the characters in Ghoul and Human, and it's basically what Territory War is currently. That's what Occupation War was. So they added Occupation War and kind of made it the main thing of the game, when previously everything like Ultimate Challenges and everything were all into its own little event tab, and you could just do the events straight up. I think raids actually were marked as actual events and everything. Overall, I really like the idea of that. It's nicer. It makes it where you don't have to play in this like forced competitive almost sort of like status when it comes to the game to do anything cool in it. So the next thing was the combo or tab combo evolved to 6 people. That was the name of this thing. And basically it's where there used to be 3 people on a team and then a friend, and now it has switched over to 6 people on a team with no friends. Now, the assumption back then was that the 6th person on the side would be the friend on the or be the 3rd front row guard, where you'd have a friend there, but they just completely removed the friend system. Well, not completely. There's still a friend system, but it's only for dispatches now. And I think it'd be really cool if the friend system started to include like actual playable units in the friend system. I would love to see that come back, and I know they definitely can, because if you take a look at a game like Naruto Blazing or something, or even Dokkan Battle, there's 6-player, it's a 6-player team, but there's still a slot for a friend, and overall I think it's really, really cool. Now on to, let's just go ahead and read everything out under Tab Combo evolved into 6 people. By making full use of attacks and shift change, you can break a certain number by combining a certain number of combos. So they changed how breaking works. So basically every 5, for the first 5, and then in 10, 20, 30, and so on, you get 1 durability down, as well as AP recovers after a break happens. They added all that. They modified the gameplay to what it is currently from what it used to be. Overall, I think this was a good change. It did fix a couple things, and all the Renewal did was basically dumbed it down. They cleaned it up where the game was better, and I don't really have to cover what's currently in the game. But anyway, Kagane improved system implementation of Quinke. Get strengthened items, repeatedly strengthening Kagane, Quinke, and the character grows bigger. For details about Occupation Fight and Battle System Edit, please see in-game help after Renewal. So basically what that is you know now weapon upgrades. You upgrade your weapons and you level up your characters. That's basically what there is. Oh yes, and Mastery, which used to be called something else, but the pills still technically existed. So next thing was they changed elements. Don't need to cover that. Main changes related to the game content. Abolition of the old stamina system, which... Oh, the old stamina system. Basically, there used to be a stamina bar in the game where you had to use stamina in order to challenge his events. Once again, I really love that's gone, because there's no need for that in a game like this. It's a really grindy game when it comes to 10 out of 10 in your characters, so I am glad the stamina system is gone. On to the next thing, they reset the story, which is what you normally do, and they now slowly added in there. Even though previously, I do believe Tokyo Ghoul and Tokyo Ghoul Route A's story had all of the difficulties already in the game, and when they reset it, they just slowly started adding story, and they're doing that so they have new content added every bit, without having to add any actual new content besides one ultimate challenge. I'm fine with them resetting story. I'd like them to get difficulties out faster, and I'd like Hell Mode to get into Tokyo Ghoul Route A territory where we get nicer difficulties. But anyway, so partial change of character status. This basically took where Rarity EX and event characters that were SRs, they instantly boosted into SSR, as well as the Rarity being EX was, I don't even know. Yeah, EX characters, which were SRs, but they were obtainable from like the EX shop or something. It was a really cool thing. Basically returned into SSRs, though you can't even get EX characters right now unless they make a way of getting them. So they kind of removed the EX shop, they removed the EX characters, but anyone who already had an EX character was allowed to keep it, thankfully. So the type attacker, breaker, and defender is abolished, and the if you do stiff, smart, blind, and flash is newly added. So basically they changed up the typing system to the new one. I don't mind the new typing systems. Groups will be discontinued. Groups is basically a thing where there was like a gory, there was Ghoul, and everything else, where the characters would get a boost for being in a specific group. Discontinued is what it says here. I don't see anything that says, okay, we're gonna bring this back at all, but it'd be really, really nice if they were to bring groups back. Groups is something we need to see return. I don't see why we can't have this return. It would make building teams a lot more thought process and not just, okay, this is a good durability down unit, this is a good this is a good this. If groups were to return in the game, I feel like it would make team building just a little bit more thought out, and also not just, okay, put the best units on there and you're good. I really want to see groups come back. Maybe in a different way, maybe not the exact same, but groups would be a really nice thing to come back. It just needs to come back. They'll probably reintroduce it later. I don't see why they wouldn't. We need groups to come back. I don't see why they're not here right now. Anyway, each type of enhancement book has been abolished. Basically, booklets, where you'd level up with XP, were separate little characters instead of, you know, just books to level up characters. They weren't XP books, they were actual characters. I like that they changed that. I'm not going to read all this. Resonance frequency and resonance bonuses are abolished, and skill level is newly added. I don't really know what resonance frequency was, but apparently it changed over to skill level, so mastery. So I suppose resonance frequency was mastery back then, but they just changed the name of it to skill level, which is fine. Once again, that's nothing crazy there. The unique attachment ability is changed to unique ability, released by raising skill level, and performance is also changed. Changes will vary depending on the character. Skill performance will be changed. Changes will vary depending on the character. So they redid all skills, and they made unique weapon attachment abilities into unique abilities. So they took what some of the weapon attachments did, they stuck them in the unique abilities. They did lower what some of them did to balance it. They balanced the game out. They converted any items that weren't actually used into the game either into accelerators, which is now known as stimulants, which used to be called, I do believe it was, RC pills is what they used to call stimulants. They changed the name over into accelerator, aka stimulants, now that you know. That was just a crappy Google Translate, but they are known as stimulants now. So, attachment and attachments with abolition of the attachment Gacha ticket possessed by characters will be converted to dispatch Gacha tickets, and attachment Gacha ticket SSRs will be converted to dispatch Gacha ticket SSR. So basically, they removed the attachment system, and they removed the attachment system Gacha, which was attachment system summons, and they converted the tickets into another type of tickets, so you could still use those tickets that you currently had into some other sort of summon, and either pull yourself a nice character or a nice dispatch character. So they did treat anyone who played pre-renewal really nice when they did do renewal. Weapon attachment systems sounded really, really nice. I'd say I would like to see that return, but at the same time, if you have to summon for the weapons and the characters, it just sounds like a lot of pay to win that could be happening there, and just a big annoyance. So far what we have that would be pretty cool to return right now is groups and weapon attachments. So on to the next thing. Basically Haka that was bought with real money was refunded, and Haka that was spent on weapon attachments was refunded, regardless if you purchased it or not. But if you did summon with this Haka that you purchased, you would get it back Haka/Kaku, by the way, anyway. Once again, the attachment gacha in the RC shop was removed, which the RC shop is now back. The attachment gachas are not, because attachments are not back. But basically at the end of this, and what I read that was really interesting here was, in the renewal we are planning to make major changes mainly concerning the attachment systems and the strengthening materials, etc. So for this reason we have currently closed the functions of attachment gacha and attachment holder extension and RC shop functions. RC shop functions will resume after changing contents after renewal. Please understand by any means. We look forward to your continued support, blah 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 blah. But they basically said there that some of this stuff was to come back, but as a change. They said for now they have changed the attachment holder extension. So that does not mean that attachments is a permanently abolished thing. That does not mean groups or anything is permanently abolished. All that stuff could come back to the game, just we don't really know as to when. And once again, I will leave a link down to this full changelog. It is a Reddit post by Reddit user, it's a public thing, so user, I don't even know how to say that here. It may be on screen and maybe not, I may have forgotten. But it does sound really interesting, and it's kind of promising that they said some of this stuff would come back. I'd like to see EX shop, or at least EX characters, return in some way. They did actually leave the EX icon for characters in the game, by the way. Like, it's still in the game file, so there is hope for EX coming back. I'd like to see EX shop coming back in some way of getting EX points. I don't even remember how you'd actually get them, because I didn't play that much during the game. I just am going off, 1, the change logs, 2, what people have told me on Discord about pre-renewal, and 3, the little bitty bit I have played, and some of the gameplay I have dug up of pre-renewal. So, basically, here's what we can see and hope to see coming back. Groups, attachments, and EX shop so far. Oh, also S and SS rank missions were currently in the game during pre-renewal. Now we only have a couple, and there's not enough right now. We need more S and SS missions. So basically stuff they could add to the game that they already had that would just make the game very nice would be EX shop, which I guess maybe could be like Clown Shop. Maybe they could just stick the EX characters in Clown Shop. Like, I wouldn't care. I'd be willing to farm Clown Raids again if they had EX characters in there. And not just Dispatch characters, because I already have too many Dispatch characters anyway. Groups would be dope. We really do need groups back. Oh, also, a friend system where you can use actual playable characters. So, let's list it out real quickly. Friend system where you can use the playable characters. EX characters in some way. Attachments returning in some way, maybe being just something you have to farm, like you have to farm attachment material and boost the attachments, but being something that doesn't have a gacha sort of system connected to it, because I just feel like that's over the top and just really uncalled for to have to summon for the weapon and the characters. I do understand removing a summon for the weapon that your character that you summoned for uses. Like, maybe they could add it as an extra little farm, or a generic sort of attachment material that everyone uses based upon typing that would boost the amount of attacks or other stuff they could do that would just add another layer of boost you could do to your characters. So basically, friend system, EX, some sort of return of attachment systems, groups, and also more S and SS rank stuff. Like I've been saying, I just want S and SS rank to get here already. It'd be really nice to have more S rank stuff from the little bit of S rank stuff they've given you, or given us so far. And once again, I'll leave a couple links down below to some S missions. I do believe I have a couple videos over. If I didn't get to them, because I don't think I got to the Christmas one, I will go ahead and actually just attempt to find someone else's video. And if someone else has a video over the S rank Christmas video, or S rank missions for Christmas's event, for the, I don't remember, I think it was like a token, a Kaneki. You do have my permission to link your video down below and self-promote, and I will allow you to leave it. And yeah, because, you know, I'm probably going to forget. But yeah, it's really interesting what used to be in the game, and it'd be really nice to see all that return, and it's listed on there. I don't want to repeat it again, even though I completely forgot what I said again, but I'm out for now. Link to this is definitely down below, because I think this is just a really interesting thing to read over. I didn't read all the way through it, though I really did read a lot of it. But if you were wondering what the patch notes were for the full change log, as they called it, before when renewal happened versus when renewal wasn't here. Here's this. I figured I'd read over it because the renewal versus current version of the game was very popular, and there was a couple comments who were like, oh, the game's doomed. I don't think it's doomed. I just think some of this stuff needs to come back to the game. Like, really, really badly. We need more stuff like this to come back, and we need an events tab that is not only during war. We shouldn't have to dispatch for events. Like, that's something I'm not gonna stop arguing. I think it's stupid to force people into this competitive sort of space. Something sort of like if you've ever played Dokkan World Tournament. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me, and it doesn't keep a good player base, or it just doesn't make any sense. Make an event tab that, even if it's at a reduced drop rate for Ultimate Challenge stuff, or like in Blazing, where there's only a specific amount of hours for those specific events to be here, which would be an amazing system. Like 2 hours of an Ultimate Challenge, specific Ultimate Challenges being in there, and you just having to know what time it'd be in there. It'd be an amazing thing to do. There's no reason to force territory wars on to people. Some people just don't like doing stuff like territory wars every single time one hits. It's annoying, it gets boring, it gets repetitive. Just give us an events tab. There's no reason not to have it, and bring more S-rank missions to the stuff. That way you could even have S-rank ultimate challenges and not be worried about time as much, because you could have like a set time when these ultimate challenges would appear. These are easy changes, and they need to do it. Sorry, it was a little bit of a tangent there, but they have old stuff they could go and just put it in the game and make us so happy and just help the game out so much. But if they just continue to slowly, one new character a month or so, if they just continue to do that, I don't see the game surviving, and I want the game to survive. I really, really like this game. I'd like to see some of the old stuff brought back, and I'd like them to fix some of the issues the game has. Like, we shouldn't be forced into territory wars. That's what everyone screams. People get bored of territory wars. It's a nice way to get more Kaku/Haka, but it cannot continue to be the main part of the game if the game expects to live on for another year or so. Like, another year's tops if they don't do something besides territory wars. Just give us an events tab already that has all the events, or just have specific times, even if they just appeared in wards, like permanent wards during off-season for like specific ultimate challenges. Even if it was only a couple ultimate challenges, maybe not even all of the ultimate challenges, just like 1 or 2 ultimate challenges, and adding an S rank to those ultimate challenges that only appeared for a certain time of the day as a permanent ward for that specific time during the off period, so we didn't have to farm territory wars just to 10 out of 10 our characters, just to enjoy the game at all. Like, it's not that hard to do. Anyway, I did rant there. I tried to end that a bit ago, but I ended up ranting again. I know a lot of you do agree with me. Now, some of you may be completely fine with where the game is, but I don't know. I'm out for now. If you do agree, or if you like what I'm talking about, go ahead and leave a subscribe on that button. Just punch the subscribe button, guys. And share this with anyone else you know, and start a discussion. What do you want to see changed in the game? Do you think they can change the game enough to save it to where it's back to being a really nice game, and not just okay, go do territory wars like you do every week? After 1 week over, it's a couple weeks of territory wars, and it's repetitive, and it needs to stop. Give us an events tab, and give us more S-rank missions so there's actual difficulties of the game, especially after releasing this new Kaneki and this new Arima. They've just brought in this row of OP-ness with nothing hard to do. But I'm out, like I've said, for the 100th time, and my throat is starting to get hoarse from me talking so much. But I'm out. See yous.